Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial SME. If you've just joined us tonight with my guest and co-founder of Luxity, Zahariev, we are discussing how South African startups can successfully bootstrap amid global capital shortage. And global capital shortage, Michael, is the issue here, right? How do I start? I'm a local guy. I think I can make nice, beautiful bags. I can sell 2 or 3 of them. The fact of the matter is that if I can make 3 and it takes me a month to sell, I'm going to start feeling like I'm not making any progress.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's where it really, being an entrepreneur is not just about doing the work. If you're making 3 and you're not getting the progress and you're not able to make it work, it's also about realizing that that's possibly not an opportunity or not a realistic one at the time, and trying something else. So I think a lot of the time, we want to look at it, say, oh, even if we look at competition coming into play or the fact that there's no financing available, those are all just realities. And either we can complain about them, but it's not going to change the reality. What we need to do is look for the opportunity given the reality. And I think that's the important part about being an entrepreneur. And that's the kind of people that succeed are the ones that are able to realize this.
I can think of the most obvious advantage of bootstrapping is that it's my money. I don't owe anybody. There's no gun to my head to say you need to be repaying us at the end of the month. But the comfort of knowing that there's a bit of support from an overdraft of some sort or facility from the bank, could that discourage people from bootstrapping?
Well, bootstrapping, it's not about never taking on finance. It's not a case of, that's a religion that you have to follow for the rest of your life. But it's about the case of building your business from somewhere, starting given the reality that you can't get financing. Obviously, once you have a business that is making its own money, yes, an overdraft facility is a very easy first step to getting a little bit of financing, to giving you a little bit of security. So it's not about saying don't do that, but it's about saying don't let that hold you back. Don't let the fact that an overdraft or a financier is holding you back.
Because I've years ago I learned of this beautiful phrase of good debt, right? And people say even when you're doing well, get a facility that will be there for you on a tough day, on a bad day. Do I start, when I'm a bootstrapper in my head now, do I start with some cash in my pocket or a product and a service and I go out and do this thing?
Well, you have to start with whatever your reality is. So leveraging every opportunity you have. If you only have a product, try sell it to a friend. Try get some buy-in. If you have a little bit of cash, how am I going to invest that cash to make the most return? So again, at the end of the month, I have a bit more. So it's really about realizing the fact that we're not held back by the idea that if we go to a startup pitch competition and we don't get an investor and we send our deck around and no one invests in us, that, oh, my idea is bad. No, how can you get your idea off the ground without that? What's the minimum viable product you can do in your reality?
How did you do it?
Well, exactly. When we looked at it, we thought to ourselves, these handbags we're selling, they're selling for, I think the first one that really wowed us was 20,000 Rand second hand. And we thought, wow, if we sell 2 of these handbags and we make a 50% margin, we'll make 20,000 Rand. And that's a lot of money. And how hard can it be to sell 2 handbags? And that's the concept. That's where it began. And then when we were selling 2 or 10, we were thinking, how can we invest this? I mean, this is working. We're able to sell 2 and 10 with very little marketing, with very little infrastructure. So how can we take that money we're making? Because I don't need more for my salary and reinvest it to sell 100 and then 200 and so on and so forth.
Could this be taught? Could you teach people about this, Michael?
Well, I think the thing is that when you start from step by step, you learn yourself. Because, in the beginning, the hard part is selling 1 handbag. The second hardest part is selling 2. But by the third one, it's kind of easy. I know how to do that. So what do I do next? Okay, maybe how do I get more handbags? How do I market on Facebook? Let me learn that. And that's the entrepreneurial journey, which you can learn yourself. And that's the great thing about what technology has done these days, is you're able to learn so much yourself. We were able to get into shopping centers like Sandton City and V&A Waterfront without having a big brand behind us, by building that ourselves. And a lot of the time, entrepreneurs think that some magical investment investor or there's a magical trick to it, but there really isn't. It's just you at the end of the day, with an investor or without an investor. And if you can't make that work, it's not going to work either way.
I got 5 questions. You want one would answer all of them.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of quitting?
No.
Why not?
I want to say money.
Good answer. What keeps you going, though?
It's interesting. I don't know anything else.
What do you do for fun?
Solve problems.
And given a chance, would you do this again and again and again?
Of course, even without all the money.
Coffee, whiskey, gin, or?
Definitely wine.
Michael Zahariev, wonderful chatting to you. Thanks for your insights. I'm sure a lot of SMEs will learn a lot from your bootstrapping. Thank you for watching the Entrepreneurial SME. From me, Rams Mabote, good night and God bless.
Telkom Business, behind South African businesses' drive to thrive.